Hello and welcome to week 4 of the Pillarfield Pauper League. I'm Robert, also known as Eldrazi Lackey, and on the mic with me is Troy, also known as Way Too Tall. Before we begin, I'd like to thank MagicGatheringStrat for hosting us, and I'd like to welcome our new viewers. We're working on a Pillarfield Pauper League page on MagicGatheringStrat.com, so keep an eye out for that. We're currently 2 games into the middle of the second trimester of the Pillarfield Pauper League. Last week, Jordan beat Troy and Rom beat me. They are both running Boros decks, but they have very different goals. Let's take a look at those decks, starting with Jordan. Jordan has brought BorosKitty to the table. This is one of his favorite archetypes. Jordan's favorite word is value, and this deck brings a lot of it to the table. By bouncing Prophetic Prisms and Ichor Wellsprings, it draws many cards over the course of the game. Aside from its 1-1 removal, every card is designed to be a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, or even 4-for-1 in the case of Kuldotha Rebirth. BorosKitty can end a game reasonably quickly with flyers, or just sit back and have late game inevitability. On the polar end of the Boros spectrum, we have Rom's Boros aggro list. After piloting Burn in the first trimester to a 3-1 finish, Rom seems convinced that aggressive decks are the way to go. I first saw this deck on the Pauper subreddit and have not seen any results for it yet, so we'll see how it fares. The key to this matchup for Rom will be winning before Jordan can come online, because Jordan's creatures mostly outclass Rom's. If Jordan can make it to turn 4 without much damage marked on him, it's very likely that he will win. And with that, let's get into the match. Okay, it looks like we got in just a little bit late. That's an Ancient Den on the bottom there on Jordan's side. On the top, it looks like Rom is starting to get in with a Court Homunculus. He's got a Vault Scourge in hand, 2 Vault Scourges. Looks like an Ardent Recruit, so we'll probably see 2 more creatures hitting the table. Yep, here they go. And looks like Troy's getting the hand sorted out, and hopefully he'll be with me. So he's got 1-1 Flying Lifelink, a 2-2, and a 3-3. He's pretty happy right now. And Jordan's just going to be sitting over here dirling with his piles and piles of removal. And he's got that Ichor Wellspring to help draw into stuff. He's got the Glinthawk, which will be nice once he's able to get it on the board, because it'll be able to block things. But he still needs some, he needs 1 more land to be able to cast that. I believe. I can't see his hand right now.
Yep.
But I believe it's coming. Okay, there it is. In goes the team for more damage, and remember, this is one way that you can beat BorosKitty is to just get online and kill them before they have a chance to move or do anything. We're going to see another journey? No, we're going to see the Glinthawk returning the Ancient Den, of course.
To play it back out.
And drops the Prophetic Prism just to draw the card. And next turn he'll be able to Flame Slash as well. If he did manage to draw into a land there, then he can Flame Slash and Journey and really have control of this game. The Glinthawk is probably just going to be sitting there negating the impact of the Vault Scourge. Right up until it gets hit with this Pirate Spellbomb.
Pirate Spellbomb, which kills 2 damage to a player and draw as a card?
No, it's either or. You can have it deal 2 damage to target creature or player, or you can have it draw a card.
Also, we definitely
they had the new spell bombs in the Scars of Murder block, I believe, where it could do both. You could sacrifice it to do one thing, and anytime it went to the graveyard, you could pay mana and draw a card.
Yep.
Which allowed some other interesting combos that, I don't know, is Jordan running that, though, in his list? The new
problem is right now, I don't think we're
new ones? Yes.
Rom's
Jordan's running
hand.
the new Origin Spellbomb,
Yeah, we're gonna
which has that new mode.
Yes. Also, we're going to have to tell them to pause because we're not updating Rom's hand, so we have no idea what he's got in hand right now.
Sorry about that. We just lost things for a second, but we're back now. Looks like Jordan had bounced the Ancient Den with the Glinthawk, and now he's replayed it. Looks like he's thinking about the Journey to Nowhere here. Let's see where he decides to put that. And yeah, he's going to get rid of that 3-3. Given that he can deal with just about everything else with that Glinthawk on the board, he's just going to be able to sit there and stop things up for a while. So I think he's pretty happy about that.
Rom drew into a Lightning Bolt. That's almost certainly going to go to that Glinthawk, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Going to deal in 4 damage? Or is he offering to trade first?
Dude, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's think. If Jordan decides to block one of the Vault Scourges, he's then at 6 life.
Yeah.
If Rom can get in 1 more attack with the Vault Scourge and the Homunculus, Oh, no.
Use that burn on the face.
He could use that burn on the face. That might be what he's considering.
Ooh, and Jordan didn't block. Oh, wait, there's the block.
Okay, he's blocking the Court Homunculus.
So he's going to offer the trade. Hold on to the burn.
Yeah, Rom's going to hold on to the burn and either burn something if Jordan can pull something out, but I think Jordan is just going to be burning things.
Yeah, well, Jordan, if you notice, Jordan hadn't had any red sources for a while, so that mountain's going to...
Mm-hmm. Well, you have the Prophetic Prism, but I suspect he's just going to go burn. Or he might do one piece of burn and let the other one sit and wait for something a little bit more juicy from Rom's side of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what he doesn't know is that if Rom draws a land, there's going to be two pieces of juicy, and they're not as juicy as...
So it looks like he's just going for the burn and end of turn since he had the mana.
Okay, so he's being pretty bold. He's assuming that either going to draw land or gas off the top of the deck, which is literally everything that's in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a fair play. If it's a land, then it was worthwhile to do it that way. Okay, now he's going for the Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
Very wisely decides to not Lightning Bolt himself and deal exactly lethal.
Yeah. Would have been a questionable play at best.
Mm-hmm. Who would have had to talk to him about that one? Okay, we got a Splatter Thug. Will he unleash it?
Strike? I'm sorry. 3/3 first
3/3.
strike. But it
Unleash can't block.
Which I'm sure he's really concerned about.
Oh, yeah, that really limits the viability of the card. And, it would have put him on the same clock, even.
Yep. But he drew a Galvanic Blast that deals 4 damage here now that he's got 3 artifacts.
Well, how about that? He's got 4 artifacts, even. Wait, he doesn't have 3 artifacts. He's got 4.
He has 4? Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that person over there.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of chilling.
It's a hiding.
Mm-hmm.
But Ron didn't see it either.
The Journey to Nowheres. So,
right.
There's the blast. I think he's only got one of those in his deck, correct?
Does he? Well, let me take a look. It looks like he's got 4.
Oh, he does have 4. Okay.
I don't know why he would only have 1.
Well, he only has 1 Flame Slash, right?
Well, yeah, because Flame Slash can only go at creatures.
Okay, fair enough.
And it's at sorcery speed, I believe.
Yes, it's sorcery speed.
Let me check that.
Because that would be
sorcery speed.
You could deal 4 damage at instant speed to a creature for 1 mana.
It'd be good, yeah.
Good, he says. And there's the second Galvanic Blast. Not going to be a whole lot of help against these Hawks, though. It's just a bit too slow.
I think we're going to be seeing some Electrickery out of the board on a related note.
Yeah.
Maybe a Celestial Flare. So even Celestial Flare isn't that useful.
Yeah, I don't know what you do against these Hawks.
Anyway.
You just take the damage and look sad, I guess? Play out Hawks of your own?
Yeah.
He cannot be happy about that Galvanic Blast, but I guess...
No.
I guess he realizes that puts him within bolt range, so it's just saving him.
And this is where he's just got to do what he can to stem the bleeding, but...
Let's see, drew into a mountain, it's not a whole lot.
It's just not looking good for him.
Yep, he's gonna be digging, which is exactly what we expect from this BorosKitty deck. That's what it did
but not
last
necessarily
week.
what he wants to do at this point.
Yeah. Well, no, he wants some more control, but
yeah.
I mean, with this other Boros deck just throwing down the... Because
what he's really looking for is a Glint Hawk or a Core Skyfisher.
Mm-hmm.
Or even a Sanctum Gargoyle.
Sanctum, yeah.
It's not going to be for full value, but, a 2/3 flyer. Yeah. That's going to do fair against a pile full of Squadron Hawks.
Something to get some damage out, but it looks like this might be game if when Rom lands both of these Squadron Hawks, they'll have the Galvanic Blast up for the next turn.
Jordan would need to gain some life, or...
I don't think he runs any life gain or not anything major.
He runs the lands. Could be our Crossroads. So,
yeah, but
I don't know if there's really any way. He can Prophetic Prism and draw Crossroads plus those flyers, technically speaking, realistically.
What is that?
Badly that could happen. But he's playing to his outs.
From the Icor.
So he's got a Rebirth that isn't useful because they don't have flying.
Right.
So he's got a large pile of goblins sitting on the ground watching the birds fly overhead.
Yep, and this O-Ring was only going to get one of them.
And not even that till next turn. Yeah.
Yep, that'll be game once Rom swings in here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and he's
See
one
if that
artifact away
O-ring...
from getting the trigger from the, what's it called? Galvanic Blast.
Yeah. He doesn't even need it, though, because the Hawks are about to get in. He can just fire that right off and win there. So
there we go. That'll be game one. I'll go ahead and
just like we said. Mm-hmm. Oh god, it all exploded. Okay, there's the blast, and that's game one.
Just show me the burn. Just show me the burn. So going back over here, let's take a look at Jordan's sideboard options.
Sideboard.
Okay, that's going to have to be the segue music every time we move from now on.
God dang it.
Sideboard. So you got,
I think Ancient Grudge. Ancient Grudge seems decent here.
Well, this is Jordan's sideboard.
Yeah.
Well, what's he
Ancient Grudge?
I guess that's true. He can Ancient Grudge
everything in Rom's deck. His lands, the homunculus.
The homunculus that deals 2 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So, those not Pyroblast. That's not what I was thinking it was. The 2
Electric Ray
will come in for sure. Celestial Flare.
I'm trying to remember what Ray of Revelation is even.
Go ahead and look that up for everybody else and me and
Cole. So, you know Ancient Grudge?
Yes.
It's the same thing, but for enchantments.
Okay.
So it's 1 and a white, and then flashback green, instant speed, destroy target enchantment.
Well, that's not coming in, is it? I don't know if Rom's running any journeys or O-rings, but I don't think it's worth it.
Let me take a look.
I think the creatures are the bigger concern.
Jordan knows that he is not. He is running Circle of Protection red. They both are. It's not particularly relevant because the constant damage dealers in both their decks are white, and it's just their burn that's red. Rom does have Standard Bearer, which could be useful for but Electric Ray can get around that and still kill the Standard Bearer. But I think we're going to see the Standard Bearer come in. I think we're going to see maybe a Spell Bomb come in.
Yeah. I also really
Rom's Smash to Smithereens is not that great. No, I think he will bring in the Smash to Smithereens because the extra 3 damage is really nice, and the possibility that you can mana screw Jordan by hitting one of his Prophetic Prisms is just good.
Now that's assuming that he does have the Smash to Smithereens, because as of when he submitted his deck, he only had 1 of them in the sideboard, and 2 of them he was planning to get with quotes around it.
Yeah, that's a great point actually. And I have to see if I don't know, maybe we can get somebody to lend us those cards.
We've got the hands in. It looks like they're ready to go. I'm just gonna try and.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Robert?
Okay, now I can.
Okay.
Lost you for a second.
All right. Well, we're starting up, and we can take a look at these hands.
Mm-hmm. What do we got?
Looks like we've got. Well, they're both cats, so both at 7, and
I'm seeing the same hand on both sides right now.
You shouldn't. They might have very similar hands. Oh no, they don't.
No, I mean.
Oh God, no. On their way.
Alright, Prophetic Prism.
Yep.
So no 1-drop from Rom makes for a happy Jordan. Okay, there you go.
So, no 1-drop on Omzen. That's gonna be rough. Well, there's a 1-drop. Also, his hand is flooded.
Yeah, not only that, how many artifacts do you see?
I see 2 right now. I think that's an artifact.
How many does it take to trigger Metalcraft?
Well, 3, but he's got 1 on board, so he's not in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah. He's got 1. He's got 1 in hand. So it looks like he's going to drop the Vault Scourge first, which is interesting. He could have dropped the 2-drop instead this turn, dropped the Vault Scourge next turn, had the Metalcraft so that he can swing in for more damage. This way he's just lost 2 points of damage.
Yeah, I don't think he's that concerned about it. I don't know.
He should be.
Yeah, he should be. He's going way too
with
slow.
the hand that he has.
I think with looking at his hand, he just knows there's not a whole lot he can do since it's so low on early spots.
Man.
I'm not
Yeah, but that's kind of... Yeah, that's fair. I guess maybe he's also assuming that Jordan's going to have a piece of removal, so he's trying to get it get him to waste it on the less juicy target.
Yeah, that's a good argument. I don't think Jordan's going to fall into that trap, but, it's possible.
Especially not when he's got a Skyfisher to block it. So here, I mean, if he'd had the Skirmisher, he'd have a 3/3 flyer that could swing into this Skyfisher. But now he's sitting here with the Scourge. I mean, he can attack in and say, well, I've got a spell bomb that I can use to throw at you. But it looks like he's just going to drop this Sun Chaser and pass. Yeah. I mean, he can attack in here.
Kind of anticlimactic.
But there's no real reason to.
Yep, and then there's the
Boom, lightning bolt.
Which means this Skyfisher's going to go right back at him, isn't it? Ooh, and into a Glinthawk. Doesn't have any white sources on board, though, does he?
So this might be a bit early, but I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Jordan.
Yeah, a little early. On the other hand, Rom doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything for the next few turns.
Interesting, and he blocks. I suppose he just assumes that Jordan has
The rest
something else that he's going to have to block with. Well, not necessarily the burn, but if Jordan attacks him with the Skyfisher, Rom attacks back with the Vault Scourge.
But he's also going to set off the spell bomb.
Oh yeah, so he's going to make the trade. I gotcha. That makes sense then.
Rom's currently sitting with no cards of value in hand.
Right.
I'm looking down.
Well, the thing is, if Skyfisher attacks in and then Vault Scourge cracks back, that means net, each one of them will have lost 1 life.
So, and there's the card draw we're talking about, where Jordan played out the prophetic. Was that Prophetic Prism? And then bounced it with the Giant Hawk just to draw a card. What was that? Glinthawk. Glinthawk to draw a card.
Giant Hawk.
Yep.
Giant Hawk. Alright, here's an Ardent Recruit. He's getting recruited a little bit late.
Yeah, it's also really awkward since he had to crack that spell bomb. It's still just a 1/1.
And, yeah, he had to trade 2 of his artifacts to make that trade earlier, so now he's sitting with 2. He's not in a great situation here.
Yeah. I guess Jordan can totally afford a bash in, although taking 3. Let's see if he does that. Yeah, I think he's going to be taking 3 this turn.
Well, I think he's fine with that, though. He's at a point in the game where he can afford to take a little bit of damage. As long as he's still advancing. Like, if he's just drawing cards and he's keeping things going, he's keeping his engine going, then it's fine taking a little bit of damage. This could be our crossroads even. So, if the Ardent Recruit attacks in, I would not be surprised if Jordan just takes it.
Ooh, that's a good follow-up, too.
So he's racing him.
That's a good follow-up on Rom's end. If Rom, let's look at this. If Rom draws gas for the rest of this game, he's not in a terrible spot. He's not in a good spot. He's not in a terrible spot. I don't know if there's a whole lot of creatures that can take down the Porcelain.
I mean, when
you're going to have to use a Journey to Nowhere or O-Ring.
He's going to have to find a real piece of removal.
Yeah.
Or burn.
He's not going to be
There's also burn.
In its way.
I mean, let me take a quick peek at his deck list. Flame Slash, Galvanic Blast, Lightning Bolts, Journey to Nowhere, Oblivion Ring.
I know, but it's really awkward using that on a...
Ancient Grudges.
I don't think he's going to use the Ancient Grudge on that.
Porcelain Legionnaire is not a 1 toughness creature.
Fair enough.
Not like that.
It's a 3 toughness creature, I know. Also, what's going to be really great in this next turn...
4 even.
Rom's going to attack in, thinking he's going to get 6 damage, and the Legionnaire is going to get bolted.
No.
Or not.
No, Jordan's just concerned about keeping the pressure on. Jordan's in the driver's seat of this match right now. He didn't take the damage when he could have taken the damage, and he can still take that damage and not be in a bad spot. So, since Rom was off to such a slow start, Rom's going to have to use some of his burn and things to remove Jordan's creatures.
Right.
And since Jordan's inevitability is so much better, those trades are going to end up working out in his favor.
Oh, first strike damage, and there's the second damage. Ooh, wow. I'm leaving nothing back. Go big or go home, boys.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see some prisms.
Mm-hmm. Still a little more
Jordan just sitting over here getting value.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan's favorite word in the dictionary. Value.
The great dictionary of magic words.
Yes. Nope, just the whole dictionary.
The whole dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did we ever post anything on the Pauper subreddit today?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know when we were going to start.
Yeah.
Was the main reason.
Me neither.
So, the handful of people who are up for watching us can watch us. It'll be on YouTube later.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're getting ready to start with MagicGatheringStrat, I didn't want to conflate things too much.
Fair enough. Let's see. And go ahead and bounce that prism.
Yeah, so iPhone fan, you're kind of getting a sneak preview because these, well, more so than usual even, because the videos aren't going to be up until a little bit later. We're going to be maybe releasing one a day for the next little while. So that gives me a little bit more time to edit them, and it gives people more time to digest them.
Mm-hmm. Instead of, getting a 4-hour block segment of Magic games going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, back to this match. So Rom's sitting over there, staring down lethal were it not for the spell bomb. But
spell bomb and lightning bolt in hand. I wonder if
is he choosing to put it directly at him?
So let's see.
So he burns out the recruit.
So if he had...
Let me think. Yeah, if he just pointed that at Rom instead, where...
Rom would have needed 2 pieces of removal as opposed to the 1. Yeah, it does take quite a bit of time to fix up the YouTube videos, and you can thank Robert for that one. He's also the one that has the...
You are welcome.
So we got a Sanctum Gargoyle.
No, I think I can get behind that play right then. It's removing damage, and I was trying to think if it may have been worthwhile for him to just bolt Rom with the assumption that he would attack him with everything next turn and one of them would die. But right now, I think he's operating under the assumption that Rom has a piece of burn in hand.
Yep.
Jordan is in such a dominant board position that he doesn't need to attack with everything to win this game.
Yeah. He's in the same spot that he was last week when he told us this, and that is, if I don't lose the game, I'm going to win the game. He just needs a few hits here and there to finish this game out. He's going to, next turn he's going to be able to chump the Legionnaire with the Skyfisher.
With the Skyfisher.
Even if Rom has 2 bolts in hand, that's still only a total of 8 damage and keeps him alive.
And he's most likely, right here, he's using that defensively.
Which I think was the only way that... So...
Oh yeah, he's going to get rid of the Glint Hawk too while he can.
This does leave Jordan in an interesting position. Well, he's still got a lot.
And if one of these can draw him into Kadoltha Rebirth, he's going to be a happy, happy clam.
We'll see if that happens. I think he still has his land drop for turn as well. And that Sanctum Gargoyle, can you remind us on the text of what that does, Robert?
Sure. So it's a 2/3 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, you can return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand.
Oh, that was a good draw. In case you're wondering, you can in fact just cast Electrickery for 1 red mana. I don't know if that's ever been done before, actually.
And you can also cast Sanctum Gargoyle without returning an artifact. It is a 2/3 flyer for 4. And sometimes that'll get there.
Yep. So let's see. So this dashes in for 3, and then see this Galvanic Blast used defensively almost for certain, right?
And with the Legionnaire. Are we going to see a block?
See, I hope he doesn't.
Rom still has 3 cards in hand.
Yeah. I think a chomp's not a terrible idea. Just to hold off that damage.
But he's got lethal on the crackback. So Rom's going to have to use some removal or burn. He's going to have to use something from his hand to remove one of these creatures anyway.
Yeah, the correct question is what?
So if Jordan doesn't take the damage, he puts Rom in a position where he has to use his removal. If he does block, then Rom's going to be able to save that removal and get rid of another one of his creatures, and Jordan's going to be whittling his forces down.
Right. So
I think it would be... he's going to double block so he can kill it.
Yeah.
It's interesting when he's got the Electricity. I would have...
I know. The Electricity is just so great. I mean, here he's going to get 2 for 1, too, which he doesn't know.
I think
Blast is going to come out, blast one of them away.
Right. I think what he's really afraid of is that Rom just goes Galvanic Blast, or Galvanic Blast, Lightning Bolt, and ends the game right then and there. So he's still planned that I just want to not provide any avenues to lose the game.
And he just did, though. That's the awkward part. Like, with that double block, that puts him... I mean, he's still got the Electricity, so he's going to be using...
He's got Electricity. He's not in a good spot.
I think he's still got it, though. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that's the piece of removal in Rom's hand that was going to get rid of one of his creatures anyway. He made the block there, which is not great, but he saved himself some damage.
That's actually a nice
so he bought himself some turn. And he's going to be able to Electricity to get this Legionnaire.
Yeah, it's also awkward that he doesn't have any ways to draw cards for the first time I think this match.
No, he's pretty much exhausted all of his options there, and we'll see. There's a lot of action in his deck that's going to enable him to restart that engine. He's definitely got the mana to chain things if he can draw ways to
do something with it. Yeah.
And the Crossroads probably takes a little bit of weight off his shoulders, plus the fact that Rom cast that Galvanic Blast.
Yeah. So I'm going to see this Bone Splitter come out, go to the Legionnaire, and then get blown up by the Electricity on the clip.
Yep. No, so. Probably wait until it attacks.
Did he overload it?
Okay.
He did overload it.
Yeah, just in case. You never know. You never know.
You never know what they can flash in response. All right, so
looking at the sideboards, it's the same as it was, but just to discuss the differences in the first 2 games, it's essentially exactly what we said right in the pregame, is that if Rom's deck can get off to a fast enough start, if he can put enough damage out on the table, he's going to be able to win. If Jordan can withstand that initial assault, he's going to win the game. And that's essentially what the matchup comes down to, and it's very rare that you're going to see any deviations from that. So Rom's hand that he kept game 2 was definitely a major factor in why he wasn't able to win that, because he wasn't able to put down turn 1, turn 2 pressure. He was barely even able to put down turn 2, turn 3 pressure.
So we're on to the last game. Looks like we're going to see a hand.
Yep, this is game 3.
I can't see Rom shipping this hand away. And it looks like they both get a quick 1/1 from Rom's side. Let's see, and that Galvanic
Let's go.
So Jordan draws into an Ancient Grudge. Now, this could be a really interesting play if he's willing to see Rom's land drops. Okay, Rom drew into another mountain. I was going to say he could, or another red artifact land. He could blow up his land and put him back on land drops, but ended up just not being that relevant. Well, when he
I don't think he'd want to, though, because most of Rom's stuff costs such a low... I don't know. But if Rom passed the turn without playing a land, if he was sitting on 1 land, yes, make that play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just so much more useful to look at his creatures. Since Rom's going to run out of creatures before he runs out of the ability to play them. Like, he's fine with casting things for 1 and 2. He doesn't need that much. So putting him back on lands is not as important as, say, putting Jordan back on lands would be.
Especially in this case, Jordan's very low on lands.
Yeah, he's got the bounce land, which is going to take a little while to come online. But it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble here. Hang on.
Normal attacks from Rom, but we see Rom's with a lot of burn in hand. And I suspect he's going to have to use that burn offensively. Like, he can't use that to take care of Jordan's
Rom wants to use that as burn, I think, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage in burn. But Jordan's just going to go Electricity and stop taking damage.
That's true.
Outside of that burn.
Although, if he does do Electricity this turn, he can't do anything else, it looks like.
But that's fine. Now he lets for the coals. Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
Gain some life from his tap land.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to do the same thing as Electrickery, essentially, but it buys some time for Rom to put more things on the table. It also eats piece of removal, and he elects to bounce the mountain so that he can have the Bolt or Electrickery up.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like he's just keeping it up for the Bolt. So...
Okay. You see a Bolt from Rom going at the creature. Jordan's probably coming out okay in that exchange.
Yeah, I mean, at least that damage isn't hitting his face. I don't think Jordan also... Jordan doesn't realize how much damage Rom has ready to fire off, too.
Well, even if he did, even us looking at our hands, Rom just used 3 points of damage to get in 2. If Jordan had Electrickery, that would have negated 2 points of damage this turn. Instead, he negated 3 points of damage by playing the Skyfish, and left a Lightning Bolt open in case Rom was able to play something else. So,
yeah. We're seeing
trade ended up working out just fine.
Yep. We're also seeing this life gain start to really take effect here. Rom up to 22, just splitting the difference ever so slightly.
Yeah, the Vault Scourge just making enough of a difference there. Windscarred Crag getting there as well. Not that Rom wants to care about that. Ideally, Rom is completely agnostic towards his life total.
Now, another interesting thing is Rom drew into a Squadron Hawk. He's going to almost certainly play it this turn.
And I think Jordan's going to Electrickery first.
Which makes Rom really happy, because that means that...
that means it's not going after the Squadron Hawks.
That are going to be coming down are freed up. So Jordan trying to stem some of the flow from that.
Stop that bleeding.
Yeah, trying to stem the flow from that Volt Scourge action.
And now from that gaping hawk wound.
Well, I mean, the other thing is Jordan's got a lot of, and Rom equips that Fire Husk just to make sure these.
Oh yeah, equip the Fire Husk. Efficient usage of your mana. It's very nice. Having a 2/2 flyer can be relevant.
Yep. Not when it's been hit by an O-ring, but you know.
Yeah, you know.
You'd rather have an O-ring a 1/1 than something that would be like a 3/3.
I mean, that's the thing. Squadron Hawk gives his deck value that it doesn't otherwise have. Because he can keep laying them down, and if Jordan's 1-for-1 answering all of these Squadron Hawks, that's a tremendous amount of value for one card.
Yeah, it's just going to run his hand dry pretty quick.
I'm still having some trouble hearing you mumble. I didn't catch anything that you've been saying.
Oh, okay. That's because I was mumbling it. Pretty much.
Yeah, just make sure you speak clearly. That's probably for the best anyway.
See, I was yelled at for the last few weeks for speaking too loud. Now I'm being yelled at for not speaking loud enough. But I hear you.
Yeah. Well, I'm recording my mic separately, so...
Okay. So it looks like Ron's going to attack in. He's got... Oh, and then Jordan's just going to fire off. I've got Panic Blast.
Yeah, he's just going to blast it.
Take care of that. He really can't afford taking a whole lot of damage from Rom. Because again, Jordan's almost at a virtual 8. I think Rom's holding
Jordan realizes his position. Jordan realizes that he needs to just stop any and all damage coming in his direction.
Yeah. And he seems to be doing a good job of that. Well...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's turn 6 and he's at 16 life. He's doing just fine.
He's in the place he wants to be. So now we've got a 4/4.
He's still got removal in hand.
Dodge that bullet.
Well, he still has the journey in hand.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, he's still got ways to deal with things, and he still has ways to draw cards, which he's going to do right here. He's going to have ways to get little tiny 1/1 creatures and more cards.
That's right. Colossal Rebirth is only 1 mana. What a good deal.
And he's going to have a lovely little flyer next turn as well.
Well, we're also probably going to see these... Man, I'm wondering what he's holding on to these Ancient Grudges for. He's got so many good targets in Rom. There's so many good targets in Rom's deck, but I don't know what he's going to...
He's going to wait it out. He's going to wait until he needs to play it.
Yeah.
Because since he doesn't have the prism right now, there's not a lot of good reasons for him to go ahead and cast it, because he can't flash it back arbitrarily.
That's true. Oh, that's right. The prisms will let him get the flashback. I was wondering if he had a way to flash those cards back.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So that's almost...
Because Rom's got Legionnaires, Vault Scourges, even Homunculuses. I mean, he may want to just use it as removal, or use it to get rid of this Flayer Husk that's being a bother.
Mm-hmm. Just getting the creatures slightly out of lightning range.
Yeah. But it's also forcing Rom to use a lot of his mana on that one creature each turn. So Rom is not being particularly efficient with his mana at the moment. He's only got one white. He can't just go Squadron Hawk. So he's just sort of playing one thing a turn, making it a little bit bigger, and then getting it removed the next turn.
Which I don't think is like the worst spot.
Yeah. And I suspect we're going to see an Ancient Grudge come down next turn.
Grudging on that Flare Husk? Oh.
On Rom's turn. Probably on the Flare Husk. Jordan may wait until end of turn, but I suspect he's just going to wait for the equip and then destroy it.
Well,
or destroy it at the end of turn.
Well, since Rom finally got that out of the white, he could play out another Squadron Hawk as well.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to. You see him mousing over it.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. What's he going to do? Cast 2 Galvanic Blasts just for fun?
Well, I mean, yeah, that or equip the Flare Husk, but I think the Squadron Hawk is just what you want more.
Mm-hmm. You can equip the Flare Husk next turn.
That's true.
Before you get in the damage. And also, just in case it gets destroyed by something like an Ancient Grudge.
So Jordan didn't fire off the Ancient Grudge.
No, because he's going to do it. He's going to make Rom waste the mana next turn to do it.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. So Rom's going to equip it, go to combat, feel like he's all super cool, and then Jordan's going to destroy it. Or Jordan attacks in with a bunch of 1/1s.
Yeah.
That was a snap block with a Sun Chaser there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he's... Oh, he's going to get out the metal work.
Oh, he's removing the metal craft.
So that's just a 1/1.
That's
trades with the
amusing. Yeah. Very well played by Jordan there.
I was wondering about that. I think I had thought of that play a while ago, and I just totally forgot.
Yeah.
And now we see the big creatures come out. So there's a Glint Hawk, not a Giant Hawk, Glint Hawk.
Giant Hawk.
Particularly small hawk, actually.
Troy says, now we see the big creatures come out. 2/2s.
Compared to what we've been seeing, yeah, this is a pretty big creature.
There was a 3/3 until it turned into a 1/1 magically mid-combat.
Yeah, you know that happens. This homunculus, on the other hand, that thing's not going to shrink anytime soon.
Yeah, it's homunculus. Sorry.
That was pretty bad. So, Rom's still not in a terrible spot. I mean, he's still got...
He is.
He is?
Yeah. He can't attack with his Squadron Hawk. His Court Homunculus can get double blocked or just blocked by this Core Skyfisher that's going to come down in a second. I mean, he's got the blasts in hand that aren't going to be able to get in more damage. He's going to end up using those blasts so that he can force in damage that isn't relevant.
Or he's just going to pass looking for a better... I don't know what he's looking for to put on the squad, to put with the Squadron Hawk. Oof, there's lightning bolts.
Who knows, maybe Rom just sits there and, Yeah, because he's more excited about the opportunity to counterattack with Squadron Hawk. He might even be so excited that he decides to go off and fire off a Galvanic Blast on the Skyfisher, even though it doesn't make sense. Rom just needs to assemble a board to where he'll be able to deal some significant amount of damage to Jordan. But what it seems like he's going to keep doing is trying to burn away enough of Jordan's creatures that he can attack him with things. But it's just not worth it. So he's going to end up just sitting there trying to assemble this Squadron Hawk army while Jordan assembles actually relevant creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 1/1s and the 2/2s on Rom's side are just not going to be big enough to get through.
Right.
This
And he needs to get through damage. I mean, he can draw 2 more copies of Galvanic Blast, and he still doesn't have the win yet.
Yeah, that's very true.
And that's why an early offensive is so important for his deck. Because if he gets behind like this, he just doesn't have any way to catch up.
Mm-hmm. So is this the game you were talking about? Well, I guess Rom's just won this, or Jordan's just won this already. Or was that the last game? I don't remember.
I think that was last game.
Okay.
But this game... No, I think this game started a little bit more fair.
Yeah,
but
I think it's still close.
I may have said it on this one.
I don't
think so.
see Rom being able to pull ahead.
Right. If you look at the board state right now, maybe you'd say it was close. If you look at their decks...
That's very true. Yeah.
It's not close. Because if you come in with the understanding that Rom's is an aggressive deck, hyper-aggressive even, this is not a position that it wants to be in. And this is not a position that it's going to be able to work its way out of.
Yeah.
What artifact? Oh, the Great Furnace.
Yep,
or the Ancient Den, of course.
He's still got the lands, he can bounce back. I think he's been doing that for most of the game.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. So I keep going, oh, what's he going to bounce with the Glinthawk? Oh, right, a land.
All the lands. Yeah, what were the lands, what were the artifact lands banned in? Pretty much everything?
Pretty much everything except Pauper.
Except Pauper. Totally fair in Pauper.
Right.
And this is why Pauper is such a powerful format.
Yeah. And they're not even OP. They are quite good, though.
Yep. So Jordan
you can, of course, still play them in Vintage and Legacy.
That's true. Ooh. So now we're starting to see Rom get down to a relatively low amount of life. I think is what I'm trying to say. I mean, he's at 9.
Yep. It looks like Jordan's going to try and press his advantage.
Yep. Go for the Alpha Strike.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think he can get... Can he get blown out too bad here?
I mean, he's at a virtual 7 life, given what we know. Yeah, there's no way.
Well, Rom's at a virtual 6.
Okay. Yeah.
With that bolt in hand. So this is for 6,
That's lethal,
8
isn't it?
damage. Well, it's 8 damage on board. Right?
Well, plus the bolt, yeah.
Plus the bolt.
And Rom doesn't even have lethal on the counterattack with a full group.
Don't forget...
If Rom drew a Lightning Bolt or a Galvanic Blast next turn...
Don't forget that the Scourge also has lifelink. I don't know if
that's true.
Throw the math off too much. So let's see. So if he just blocks with a Scourge, that's 1 second.
Vault Scourge can negate 3 points of damage.
Yes.
From this attack.
He's still taking 6, so he's still within bolt range. Okay. But he has to play around... No, he doesn't have to play around Galvanic Blast range because Jordan doesn't have enough artifacts for it.
Right, Jordan does not have Metalcraft right now.
Mm-hmm. So, Rom's trying to figure out his blocks. I mean, he needs the creatures to be able to attack in with to just get him in range to fire off these 2 blasts for the win. But he
doesn't have that.
Yeah.
He needs to not lose.
He also needs to not lose in the first place.
Right, and his is the kind of deck that's not built to not lose. It's built to win.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's in a position where it needs to not lose, it's in a position that the deck was never meant to be in the first place.
Yeah, you can just kind of see Rom's deck right here getting outclassed.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
With these small creatures, just not a whole lot he can do with them.
Mm-hmm.
So he blocks there. Let's see if he does anything.
And the majority of his large creatures are on the ground anyway. And I'm putting large in quotes there.
Yeah, 2 2s and 3 3s.
Right.
In this matchup, it's relatively large, and that looks like it's the game. So this. Oh no, that's puts him at 4.
We missed something.
Yeah, so what do we have? 6, 1. Oh, let me think. So He was at 9, dealt 6, gained 1. Yeah, so I would put him at 4.
Yeah, no, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
Miscounted somewhere.
Yep, we mathed wrong. God, we're so bad at the maths.
I'm sure one of the viewers on YouTube would be watching this, and that entire last exchange was just going, "It's not lethal. It's not lethal."
I know I would be.
It's not lethal. And then all the other viewers are going, "Oh, sure, it's lethal. Whatever."
How about that?
That's what I would be doing.
Mm-hmm. Trying to hear if I can...
All right.
Trying to listen and see if I can hear Rom out there just yelling, "Show me the burn. Just show me the burn." I don't think it's...
No, but I'm sure he's happy to see this Sun Chaser.
Mm-hmm.
For as little that can get back in... For as little as his deck can get back into the game, that's it.
But it's...
One of the biggest creatures in his deck.
I mean, it's a 3/3 when it comes in.
3/3 flyer.
And it's going to get
Biggest
hit by a
creature in his
lightning bolt.
deck.
A 3/3 flyer?
Totally going to get hit by a lightning
something
bolt.
that's made of metal and flying in the air? Sounds like a perfect target for a lightning bolt.
Yep.
Zing. All right.
Silly Troy. Things that aren't attached to the ground can't conduct electricity that way.
Or at least not that well. So he's looks like he might play the Hawk for a blocker. No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because the lightning bolt is looking for the closest path to the ground. If you're not on the ground, you're not going to get hit by the lightning bolt. Thought you were an electrical engineer.
Don't tell everyone, Robert. Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. They'll know all your secrets.
So we've totally gotten distracted, by the way. Also, I totally just realized I didn't have the pop rocks in the bottom corner.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know what... I don't know if Ron went to the bathroom or... Okay, maybe his computer restarted. No.
Played the Sky Chaser.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's just going to use these blasts on the flyers?
Oh, he's going to have to. He needs to not die. He's just in that... He's just in that mode right now.
Yep.
Just that time of year.
Yeah, I think he needs to
it's going to be enough to keep him in this.
With the 2/2.
Yeah. He's trying to figure out how much he can get in.
I mean,
because he needs... He needs every point of damage that he can afford.
I mean, but that homunculus is also just blocking a goblin.
Yeah, it is.
But I guess that they don't have the bolts in hand. Alright.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. So, blocks the flyer. Chumps the other two.
He's going to go block, 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 and he's going to get burned out.
Yep.
Let's see.
Alrighty. I hear some yelling in there of some sort. So that's match 1.